Okay, we're continuing with Chapter 6. We finished the financial statements. I did skip over a few PowerPoint slides about additional investments by owners, so you want to look at that. And let's move to journalizing and posting closing entries. So closing entries are done at the end of each of the period. There are only 4 of them. They are always the same no matter what. The only thing that really changes is the dollar amount on them. Okay? So what we do is we zero out what we call temporary accounts. So let's talk about what are permanent accounts. These accounts are permanent. They do not close out or zero out at any given time. All assets, liabilities, and capital. So any account on a balance sheet never closes. It could end up with a zero balance, but they never close. Only temporary accounts close. And my temporary accounts are revenues, expenses, and my drawing. Okay? There's also another account on here called, that you don't see, it's called income summary. It is summary of my income. And so really there are 4 accounts that will close: revenues, expenses, drawing, and income summary. These are temporary accounts. So four journal entries. We're getting ready to go over them one at a time. First one, I'm going to close my revenue accounts to income summary. What that means is this. If my revenue accounts typically have a 2150 credit balance, this is my balance in my account. In order to close it, I have to debit, I have to have a credit. So normal balance for revenue is credit, so I will debit this. Now the balance will be 0, and I will credit income summary. We're just transferring our revenue into income summary. Income summary is a slush account. Okay, and so now here's the balance. These little lines indicate that my revenue account are now closed. Here's how we journalize it. First of all, we write closing entries, and there it is. So this is the first of 4, and you do them in this order. First, you close revenues. Next, we're going to close expenses to income summary. I have to close each account separately. So here are all my expense accounts. My expense accounts always have a debit balance, so my wage expense has a $700 debit balance. In order to close it, I'm going to credit $700, but I'm going to do them all. Let's go ahead and do them all. So here are my balances in my accounts. I have to credit them, and then I add up the credit, so I'm crediting each expense and debiting income summary. So let's journalize this. Here's what it looks like. It's called a compound entry. Here's all my credits. If you add these up, they equal this. Okay? So now my income summary account, so we've done 50%, we're done already. So my next is close my income summary account, and I'm going to close it to owner's capital. But here's the problem. You don't know what the balance is. So this represented step 1 of the closing process. That was my revenues. This is step 2 of the closing process. These are my expenses. And so I need to find the balance in here. The difference between my revenue and my expenses is my net income. So here's my balance. My balance is net income if I had a positive. If I spent more than I made, it would be a net loss. So now we're going to close income summary to capital. So I'm going to debit income summary and credit capital. So this is the 3rd closing entry. Remember, there's only 4. Here's what it looks like written out. Okay, final entry. We're going to close my drawing account. It has a balance of $150, so I will credit it to make this 0 and debit my capital count. And now my capital count shows my actual balance. This balance will match the one on the financial statements. And here's what the journal entry looks like. Okay? Once I make this journal entry, I'm then going to post them into my ledgers. And I'll show you what they look like really quick before I finish this video. So I'm going to write the word closing in here. This just represents the page number. This is my revenue account. So I debited $21.50 and now my balance is 0. It's not really 0. We put a line here. A line signifies a 0 balance. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I did not mean to do that. Okay? So a line signifies a 0 balance. Finally, after we post all them to the ledgers, we're going to prepare a post-closing trial balance. I'm going to go over my 5-minute time, guys. I've got 6 slides. Okay, only accounts that are still open, only permanent accounts will be on here. And so here's what it looks like. These are only permanent accounts. Notice that it stops after capital, so everything below this is a temporary account and will not be on here. So this is the end of my accounting process. And tomorrow morning on July 1st, we start all over again with the step process.